Okay, here we are again. This is the last part of the lesson. Only study the parts that I explained in the video, guys, and just follow what I gave you. About the explain to, now we need to write the equation. It is the opposite problem. We need to write the equation. We need first of all to discover which type of waves we have. Maybe we have sine or the cosine. It's so easy to discover it. So look at the question. Write an equation for each graph. Now if you notice, look at the picture. The startup is 0, 0. So if you remember, the sine wave is starting from 0, 0. So since we started from 0, 0, so my wave is gonna be sine wave, sine x. But now, is it looked at the period is like the parent? Let us ask ourselves this question. It is easy to answer it. How we discover the period from the graph? There's very easy way. Just you look at the first top and the second top and look at the x opposite to each one. If you notice, this x is half and this one is 1.5. So the distance is what? Tell me, guys. 1.5. Oh, what's happening? Let me move the picture. Okay, so 1.5 and half. So if you noticed, the distance is 2. And look at the other one, it's 2. It must be the same. It is 2. So the period is what? This is the horizontal distance, I mean. So now I got the period. So I got the period. So I got the B. Since I got the period, if you remember, period equal 2 pi multiplied by B. And the period I have at 2, so it's 2 equal to 2 pi times B. So I got the B. So B is 1 out of pi. So I got the B. So easy. Now if you remember, just I need to get the A. The A is so easy. If you remember at the beginning of the lesson, I explained what was the amplitude. The amplitude, it is the distance from the midway line or the midline to the maxima or midline to the minima. Of course, since guys, look, it's so easy to discover the midline. Look at the midline. It's clear that it was the x-axis. Since we don't have any type of vertical shift, so the midline is the x-axis if we don't have any vertical shift. Still, we didn't take it. We are going to cover it on 18.3. So it's so easy that the midline is the x-axis. Now look at the distance. It's clear that it's up 2 units and down 2 units. So A is 2, finished. So easy. So easy, guys. So you can discover now the equation. And the equation is written. Of course, now you need to flip it. So I have the B, I have the A, just you substitute them in the formula. So y equal to sine. Of course, in the formula, it was 1 out of B. Flip it. It's gonna be pi multiplied by x and finished. Okay. Okay, guys, let's continue the last example. Be happy. We finished. Approximately, we finished everything. Now look at this one. Letter B. Now we are in letter B. Even though we don't know the type of the wave, but can anyone tell me why we are going to choose the cosine here? We are going to choose the cosine since the startup, now it's not 0, 0. And remember that the parent of the cosine x, the parent, the startup was 0, 1. So now we are going to start from 0 quarter. So this is, or 0 negative quarter. So definitely it's a cosine wave. So we can write it So we can write y equals a cosine 1 out of bx. Now it's important to get the b. Okay, I told you before, it's so easy to discover it. Just you need to find the distance between two maximum points. Now look at this one and look at this one. So if you noticed, okay guys, sorry if I was late for you, but I noticed something which is I wanted to point over this. Actually, the numbers that you have it in the student edition is incorrect. I'm going to give you the correct copy because this is the question in my edition is different than yours. So now I'm going to give you the numbers that you have to write them. This is 5. I'm going to write the correct numbers, and this is 15. The start, and then this is a quarter correct. This is why I stopped the video for a few minutes and I checked many resources. Please change them and use the numbers that I wrote them. So it's not pi, ignore the pi, ignore it, and only take the numbers that I mentioned them. So this maximum point is 15, this one is 5. So don't worry about any quizzes or the test because we are going to revise it a lot. So now the same idea. Let's go back what I said. It is a cosine wave since the startup is not 0, 0, and we started from this point, which is 0, negative 1 out of 4. Now look at the maxima, and each maxima, the difference is 10. It means the period is 10. Now period equal 2 pi times b, which is equals to 10. So b, if you cancel them, 5 out of pi. So easy. Now look at the amplitude. Like what we said, this is the midline, and the only maximum point, the distance is a quarter. So, and from down it's negative quarter, so on the amplitude is a quarter from the midline to the maxima. So A is 1 out of 4, and you finished. Just you write and you fill the answer. So Y is quarter. And take care about something. It's negative quarter, of course, because if you remember, the cosine is gonna be, you have to start it from up, not from down. So this wave is inverted actually. So A is negative. A must be negative because the start, but the amplitude must be positive. The amplitude is a number. But A here, the amplitude is the positive of this number. But the minus, since we have reflection, because we reflected the curve and the start from down, if you noticed. And of course, if you are not sure about this, you can use the substitution way. I will show you how. Y equals A cosine. I got the B. 1 out of bx. So it is pi out of 5x. And suppose you wanted to get the A. It's so easy to substitute this point here. So the A is negative. Sorry, the Y is minus 1 out of 4 equals A cosine pi out of 5 times 0. So the angle inside is 0. So cosine 0 is 1, so A is negative a quarter. So we got the same answer. Okay, so cosine 0, we know that cosine 0 is 1. Let's write it down, it's better. Cosine 0 is equal to 1. So A equals negative 1 out of 4, and we finished. And of course, the final answer is here. Thank you so much. This is the lesson, the whole of it. So the main idea is to know how to graph the sine and the cosine with the simple transformations A and 1 out of B. Either we have horizontal stretch or compress, or we have vertical stretch or compress. If you are not sure about the amplitude, you can just substitute the numbers, you will get the amplitude. The period is so easy to get them. If you have any question, don't hesitate to contact me. About the homework, guys, do the your turn that I skipped them, and all the exercises from number 1 to number 9. Okay, from the homework, your turn. All the U-turn that I skipped them, and the exercises from 1 to 10. Let's make it 10. And of course, you know the number of the page. Thank you so much for your good listening. Bye bye.